What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at some NHL trade rumors from Specters Hockey for December 14th. Now, this video is probably going to be up right at midnight or just after. I'm hoping it gets up on the 14th because I've been posting a lot. Today was a pretty busy day. I was out, this time of the year, it's for Christmas shopping and all that good stuff, and I had family over too. So hopefully you guys understand that this video got up late. I wasn't going to post anything, but I knew that I had to get something out there, so hopefully you guys appreciate this. Again, the rumors that are discussed in this video are from Specters Hockey. He gathers a lot of information around the NHL, puts it into his pieces every single day, so make sure you go read that down below. This isn't some sort of paid sponsorship or anything like that. We talk quite a bit, whenever I'm asking about, his rumor pieces and stuff like that. Just a nice guy. Make sure to go follow him on Twitter as well. Just go look up Specters Hockey in general. So don't take a lot of this stuff too crazy either. A lot of this stuff is just stuff that's being discussed around the league, and it's not set in stone. A good way of knowing what stuff is really getting closer to happening is watching Saturday's headlines on Hockey Night in Canada. Obviously on Saturday night with Chris Johnson and Elliot Friedman being the guys who have really, a lot of really good knowledge that know what's going on. Same thing with Bob McKenzie, but of course with Sportsnet Hockey Night in Canada, go out and check out Saturday's headlines. They post it on their website and I think on YouTube sometimes as well. But let's get to some stuff here. Now, the first thing is with the Leafs. Now, I discussed this on a podcast that's going to be going up after this, and if you're listening to the podcast first, that's totally fine, but it's talking about the Hurricanes maybe eyeing Kasperi Kapanen, and everybody knows that the Leafs are probably going to be in a little bit of cap trouble, and that's the unfortunate truth. But a guy like Kasperi Kapanen has played his way out of a little contract into a bigger style of contract. We're talking maybe the Leafs getting away with $2 million, $2.5 million, to now maybe having to pay $4 million per year. So Pierre LeBrun was reporting that the Carolina Hurricanes had a trade that fell through with the Western Conference, and they think it was at the last second everything fell through, and they thought they were going to get a top six forward, and apparently after having some interest in William Nylander, of course we heard the connection between all their defensemen and William Nylander. Apparently, the Hurricanes have discussed internally at making a run at maybe getting Kasperi Kapanen. So he's a restricted free agent. By the way, I'm reading this off my phone. I don't have my laptop with me today, so forgive me for looking down, but I'm also trying to make this video for you guys last second, so I really didn't have too much time to prepare. But the Hurricanes obviously have a ton of defensemen who the Leafs might be looking to acquire. I know myself and a lot of Leaf fans would not want to lose a guy like Kasperi Kapanen, but if the Leafs do have to make a tough decision and have to move out pieces, and Kapanen might be looking for a little bit too much that the Leafs may not be able to afford, a guy like him could be, put towards a defenseman, because you're going to lose a guy like Jake Gardiner. You're going to have to make some moves. You have to sign Matthews. You have to sign Marner. It's going to be very difficult. Specter's note here, he says Brett Pesce or Justin Falk for Kapanen. If it was Falk for Kapanen, I would hate the deal. I don't think Falk's value is anywhere near Kasperi Kapanen, and a lot of people hate me for that. I just don't think that's valuable enough. Brett Pesce might be a start, but Carolina might think he's more valuable, even though he's had maybe not the best start to his season. So it's tough, but it would definitely be something to look at. So I would not say this is something that's set in stone, is going to happen really soon, because I know the Leafs would want to hold on to him. I personally think Kapanen will stay a Leaf, and they're going to work other stuff out, probably losing a guy like Johnson and maybe Connor Brown. Those guys would be a little bit easier to let go, even though I'm a huge fan of both of them. I love Connor Brown. Johnson's a great player. But Kasperi Kapanen's proven that he can play in that top six and perform. Bob McKenzie also believes that the Leafs could target their blue line prior to the February trade deadline, though there's nothing imminent right now. He suggests that Pietrangelo might be something that the Leafs entertain, but he thinks that any club would be interested in him as well. He pointed out Andreas Johnsson. I think that's just one little piece. I don't believe that there's any sort of way that Johnsson would be a centerpiece in a deal for Pietrangelo. So I wouldn't talk too much about the Pietrangelo stuff right now, as like Bob McKenzie said, there's nothing imminent. There's not a lot of talks right now, according to him, but that can all change. At Saturday's headlines might have a little bit more info, and Bob McKenzie might come out with some more stuff. So don't look too deep into the Pietrangelo Leaf stuff right now. So another thing from Pierre LeBrun, who's actually been pretty good with the rumors lately. I'll give it to him. He's picked up a lot. He doesn't think that the Los Angeles Kings intend to tank this season and try to get Jack Hughes, who is probably going to be the first overall selection in the 2019 NHL entry draft. He says that there's going to be a lot of difficult decisions. They probably don't want to move a guy like Drew Doughty or Anze Kopitar. If I'm the Kings, I wouldn't do that. Those guys are going to stay and they're going to perform. And the Kings could really turn it around depending on, what they do. Just some small moves. They are a bit of an older team. Well, maybe not small moves, probably bigger moves. The Kovalchuk thing isn't really working out to what they wanted to. But he wonders if Jonathan Quick could be a guy that's available, or Jake Muzzin. Jake Muzzin would be a tough pill to swallow for the Kings as well. I think they'd rather hold on to him. Jonathan Quick really surprises me. I'm not really sure why they would want to do that. He says the Kings aren't shopping Quick, but he says that teams are, kind of sniffing around the situation here, looking at it and saying, could Jonathan Quick be a guy that we go after? Well, let's at least give the Kings a call. So Bob McKenzie also added on the Kings stuff, saying that Jeff Carter could be a guy that could be attractive. I've seen some reports on Boston that were coming out. Arizona Coyotes, maybe. I just don't see how that would make sense. Carter has 3 seasons left on his contract. It's affordable at $5.27 million. Again, pretty good, 5.27. Though in actual dollars, he'll only be owed $7 million over the rest of the contract. So there's probably bonuses and stuff like that. But the cap hit still stays the same at 5.27. Carter also doesn't have a no-trade clause. But, he loves Los Angeles. He probably wants to retire there. He also mentions that retirement could be an option, and that would result in the Kings paying a $3.75 million cap penalty for each of those final 3 seasons. Now, the Spectre's note is saying basically what I said. They want to get younger. They want to move some of their expensive veterans off of the team, but you're not going to... I really don't think any of those guys, the big names, could get moved, but I do think guys like Martinez maybe could be somebody that gets moved. Maybe Jeff Carter, that would surprise me quite a bit, but we'll have to see. I haven't heard too much on the Kings, so that is a little bit of a surprise. So the next thing here is about the Philadelphia Flyers and Chuck Fletcher as well. Basically saying that the Flyers seek an upgrade in goal. By the way, December 19th, there's a holiday trade freeze. So for a little bit, there won't be able to be any trades in the NHL. So you got to make your trades before December 19th. So if there might be a little bit of action, we might see some stuff. Maybe some minor league stuff that usually happens a little bit, but maybe we'll see some monster trades, which would be really cool. He suggests that the Flyers are looking for an upgrade in goal, like I mentioned. That would be number one. We all know that before Carter Hart gets in there, which might take a couple of years. A veteran defenseman. By the way, sorry, just on Hart, do you think he might be able to play next year? Let me know. Sometimes goalies take a bit to develop. The Flyers are looking for a veteran defenseman and a top 9 forward. He thinks that Duncan... Wait, hold on. Who said this? I don't think... Oh, it was John Baruch. I thought that this was Elliot Freeman or like somebody like that. This is a guy who's a reporter for NBC Sports. So, again, I'm not sure how accurate this would be. He thinks that they should go after Duncan Keith or Brent Seabrook, but or go after affordable options like Muzzin or Martinez like we just talked about with the Kings. He also noted that TSN's Darren Dreger recently speculated the Toronto Maple Leafs could be a fit for Wayne Simmons. We're not going to talk about that. Regarding Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook, I don't think Seabrook would be a guy they'd go after. That's a pretty wild contract. Duncan Keith's deal in the years coming could get worse too. I just don't understand this rumor at all. I don't think that makes sense for the Flyers to go after guys like that. If you can acquire Duncan Keith, great. But are the Flyers really contending? I don't think so. I don't see why they would want to go out and spend money on a guy that could potentially hurt them in the future when it comes to cap. And that's no diss to any of the Duncan Keith fans or anything, or fans of the Blackhawks and stuff. It just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And I think that's probably going to do it for the rumors today. There's some stuff on the Blues, but we've talked about them quite a bit. So some stuff on the Blackhawks, the Flyers, some stuff on the Leafs as well. The Kings had a lot in here. So just keep an eye out for Saturday's headlines and some stuff coming out from Bob McKenzie. As I'm recording this, maybe something else happens, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. December 14th, NHL trade rumors. It's 11:12 p.m. right now. It's 11:12. I'm going to see if I can get this up before midnight. That's the goal. I'm really hoping, because I've been posting every single day. And I've got a podcast on the way that I might upload maybe at 1 a.m. or something. I did that last time. So thank you guys so much for the support. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. I want to get to 5K by the end of this year. It's looking like that's a little difficult at this point, but hopefully we can get to 4K. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click the notification bell. Apparently nobody got notified about my Leafs game review last night, which really sucks. YouTube, fix that. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video stream or podcast. I guess I can say that now. Peace.